In today's video here, in today's training, we got how to make your first 500 using AI in 2026. Sometimes we get wrapped up in these big numbers and like, oh, I need to be making, $10,000 a month and all this. But most people skip over just having the goal of making their first money. Because I don't care if it's $1 or it's $10,000, whatever it is, your first dollar that you make from doing this, it's like rocket fuel. It's like lighting a match on a barrel of rocket fuel. Because you're kind of into it. You're like, oh, I have these big goals and all this stuff, but nothing builds your excitement, solidifies your insecurities, and lifts the weight off your shoulders than hitting your first money, whatever that is. Once you get that first money, it's like the best feeling in the world. And so instead of saying, all right, I'm on my way to $10,000, how about we just shoot for our first $500? And let's walk through what that looks like. And the way we're going to do that is we are going to sell websites, AI built websites, to local businesses. Very simple. All right, what does our business structure look like? Might look familiar to some of you, right? The easiest, fastest way for us to get to that first 500 is to use this kind of business and selling structure. Okay, call it the Baby Yoda strategy. But in the end, it is simply having a foot in the door service that we will use, and we will provide results first using that service, a results first trial. We're not going to tell someone we could do something. We are actually going to do it for them and say, hey, look what I've done for you. It flips the whole sales structure on its head and uses a very powerful sales psychology where they actually have a result in their hand, and you're potentially going to take that away from them if they don't say yes to it, right? So imagine you're starving and someone says, hey, I could sell you a sandwich. And you're like, I don't know. And there's other things out there. And you're like, oh, I don't know if I want this. But say instead of that, I come up to you and I put this big, juicy cheeseburger in your hand. And say you like cheeseburgers. I put a big, juicy cheeseburger in your hand. And I say, hey, that's $5. And it's all yours. Well, if you're hungry, and you say, well, I'm not sure, and then I take that burger away from you, that's a way worse feeling than if I never put that burger in your hand. Agree? You guys see that psychology there? When you give someone something and then you're taking it away, that's way more powerful of an effect than you just telling someone that you could do something. They've never seen it. It's not anywhere physically present. They don't have that connection to it. So there's that, plus also the fact there's a whole trust factor there. Instead of me, again, coming in like everyone else saying I could do something, oh yeah, and it's going to cost this much. I provide the result. So they say, hey, this person's not full of crap. They've actually delivered what they said they could deliver. Makes it way easier to sell. And so that's the structure I'm going to use when I'm looking to make my first money, right? It's going to be the easiest way to sell. And so I got my foot in the door. And then all I'm looking to do is I put the cheeseburger in the hand. Now I'm just looking to sell the cheeseburger. Collect the money for the cheeseburger is all I'm trying to do there. Okay. And then once they give me the money for the cheeseburger and I deliver that cheeseburger full up, because maybe I didn't have the condiments yet, or so like, hey, do you have ketchup? Yeah, we can put all that on there. Now, once the money changes hands, I can deliver them the final cheeseburger. They're all good. They're eating it. They're all happy. Well, now my next goal is to just sell them other things. Hey, I have some fries. Would you like some fries with that? I have a drink as well. With the drink, would you like a drink? That's all we're doing. That same sales structure, that same sales psychology that anyone uses for restaurants, right? Fast food, I've also talked about it, how it's powerful. Like if you see an ad online that you know, someone's like a model wearing clothes and selling a shirt, instead of just showing a picture of a shirt, right? Or even worse, text that just talks about a shirt. It's hard to imagine that. But if I see the picture and there's this model wearing the shirt and they're like having this cool pose or whatever, that they're putting their sunglasses on and the shirt's all popping and everything, I'm picturing myself in that shirt. I'm like, man, I could look like that. My shirt, you know, if I have I'm doing all kinds of different things than if they just said, hey, we have this shirt for sale and it's just text. Okay. So we're playing off a bunch of different sales psychological factors here by doing it this way. And this is all we're going to do. We're going to keep this process over and over. It's just rinse and repeat this over and over and over again. Foot in the door, close the deal on it, and then sell other things if it makes sense for them. On to the next one. Sell the foot in the door, results first, close the deal, sell them other things over and over and over and over again. Okay. And so what is my offer? Again, we're going to talk about websites. I'm going to build a professional website. I'm going to charge a minimum $500. Okay. I'm looking to make my first money. $500. That's it. Well, Jason, you've talked about these websites before being, you know, $500, $3,000. Absolutely. We're looking to make our first one, $500. That's your price. I don't care what it is, $500. Your job is to get $500 from somebody for a website. And then my other services I can offer, right? We've talked about these over and over again. And we focus on a core group that most any business on the planet will need. One, review management. That's going to be around $200 a month. Message marketing, which is just email or text marketing, it's email marketing and text marketing in one campaign. So I get a list of people. They're all getting an email with an offer in it. They're also getting a text with that same offer in it. Okay. That's all message marketing is. That's a minimum $300 a month. Lead gen, that's either Facebook or Google ads, depending on the business, what makes more sense for them. That's easy $1,000 a month. Local SEO, okay, that's around an easy $1,000 a month. That's helping their Google business profile show up higher in the maps listings. It also is having their website show up higher in the Google search results that aren't the maps listings, the other organic search results. Okay. So I potentially can sell all of these to a business, or one or two, three, whatever. There's a few of these, or I may end up that the business I get the website to doesn't need or want any of these at the moment. Cool. I can revisit it later down the road, or either way I move on. I have $500 in my pocket. But this fits into my structure, right? Foot in the door, close that deal. Close the deal for $500. And then I sell other services, and that can end up being from $0 to $2,500 a month. Okay. This gives me my one time. This right here gives me recurring. So that month after month, I get paid for those services. Okay. So it's not a one and done like the website. How do I do all this? Well, break out my business into three parts. I have find a business, offer them my services, and then provide the services. Okay. So under find a business, the easiest way to get my first money quick is to go where they're already asking for help. Where is that? That's places like Upwork, Guru, Freelancer, places where people are already nonstop 24/7 posting, asking for help, saying, I have money. I need a website. Can someone take this money and do that for me? So all I need to do is just show up to those places and start saying, yes, I can do that for you. Again, using our results first strategy. I do that by, in the second part, offer them your services. What am I going to do? I'm going to use AI to build a website. And then my goal is to sell it for a minimum $500. Okay. They say yes. Cool. I provide the services, right? What am I going to do? Provide the finished website and then sell them more things. Again, sell them more things now and or down the road if it makes sense. And then all this turns into, come on, one more page, financials of one client going from providing me $500 for a website and up to $2,500 monthly for marketing services, for advertising services. It puts one client potentially worth $30,000 a year, $30,500 a year per client. That's one business on the planet that buys my $500 website and then ultimately ends up $2,500 a month in marketing services. $30,500 a year. That's for one. What if you worked with 5 total all year? That's less than 1 client a month. That's just a little over 1 client per quarter. So notice I didn't say a client. You need a client every single month to do this, and you need like 3 of them. Nope, 1 client, less than 1 client a month. Okay, meaning about every 2.5 months, a little bit lower than that, I get 1 client. I'm on pace to do this. Again, that's if they get all these services. Now, look, not everyone's going to get all these services from you. Again, some might get none. That's okay. The next one might get all of them. The next one after that might get 2 of them. One might get 1. It doesn't matter. The goal, you get the picture, is that it doesn't take many of these clients to hit those financial goals that you have, to obtain that financial freedom that you're after, so that you can obtain your life freedom that you're after. Okay. So bottom line is, it doesn't take hundreds of clients, doesn't even take 10 clients, right? It takes just a handful of clients to really set you up for success. In the end, though, it all starts with getting that first 500. And so let's just go to a demo where we're just kind of quickly seeing what this looks like and using AI to help us along the way. Okay. All right. And so all we want to do is we want to go to a site like, let's see, let me go to Upwork, and I'll share my screen here. We are going to go, let me go to a different browser here. Okay, Upwork. All right. So first thing I want to do is I want to go to the place. What did I say? I want to go to where they're already looking. Okay. Or sorry, I want to go to where they're already asking for help. Okay. And so there's sites like, again, Upwork.com, where businesses are already going asking for this help. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to work. Right. Now, the best way, obviously, I would sign up, I'd create an account, and then I'd be in here and I'd be able to do this same search, but see all the projects and see the full project. But let's just quickly look at how quick and easy this is. Web design, right? There's obviously several other things. Just go to web design. It's broad. You can go back and revisit some of the other ones, but they're going to end up showing most of the same things. And okay, it's going to sort it by relevance. I always want to sort by the newest. I want the latest things. And in the end, I'm just looking to see, this was posted 55 seconds ago, not even a full minute ago. And then 2 minutes ago, 7 minutes ago. So I want to reiterate how often people are posting. So I could shut this off for 30 minutes, come back, and there's going to be more. There's going to be more than what I just seen, right? So that's how, things are just constantly popping in here. All I'm looking to do is at least once a day, right? The first chance I get to work on my business, I'm coming here and just seeing what is new that has been posted. The first time I come in, okay, I might go anything that has been posted within the last, I'm going to do 50. I might do anything that's been posted in the last 48 hours, maybe. Okay. That'll give me a nice bucket of things to bid on initially. But then the next day when I come on, do I look at the last 48 hours? No, I don't need to. I just look at whatever's been posted since the last time I was there. Right. So after that, after the first time that I look at this, it gets faster and easier because then I'm only looking at the things that have been posted that are new, that I haven't seen before. Okay. So it gets faster and faster, faster. So the beautiful thing is, no matter if I'm working 20 jobs, I have 20 family members, whatever my life looks like, I can do this 24/7, and I'm always going to have opportunities to bid on this. Okay. And so in the end, what am I looking for? I'm looking for something that's just simple to understand and simple to like do. Like, look at this, popped in before I even, a new one has popped in since I've been talking. All right, so like, I'm just looking for this kind of stuff. Like if I get here, Figma designer to enhance and improve existing landing page for Google Ads. Okay, I Google Ads, I can understand. I don't know what Figma, cool, move on. I don't care. I don't know what Figma is, Fig Newton. I don't know. I know what Fig Newtons are. Look, I don't care. I'm not trying to be the most technical person on the planet. And that's the beauty of AI. It's going to allow me to not have to be smart technically. I'll just need to have a basic understanding of things, which again, you get from the training and you get from just understanding what it is that we're doing. That's all I need. I'm looking for simple, right? Okay. Web development needed for new project. Okay. A website from scratch. Okay. Perfect. Here it is. So in the end, Lily has given me everything and broken out everything that they need. All right. So I found an opportunity. This is something that I can do. I'm looking for people who want a brand new website and or want to rebuild or redesign their current one. That's it. Okay. So I find a business, and now what am I going to do? Offer them my services. So how do I do that? Well, I do that by our results first strategy. Okay. So I'm going to share this tab. I'm going to go use lovable.dev. Now, again, other tools out there. This is the one we use. Another one of the tools we like to use, GoHighLevel, is starting to build this inside their platform. So we may end up using that. In the end, this is easy. This is simple. And they have a free plan. I can get started for free. Okay. So all I'm going to do is I don't need to be technical. I don't need to be some smart Einstein. I just need to grab what it is. Web development. I'm going to copy the project. That's all I'm going to do. Okay. I'm going to copy everything and then decide what I want to keep and what I don't. Okay. I'm going to start it off by saying I need a website built based on the following project. And I'm going to paste it in. Okay. Now, all I'm looking to keep is stuff that describes the website. Okay. So all that's good. I can leave that. Reference sites match this caliber. I'm going to leave that in there because this AI can go search and look at those websites and see what they look like. We like layout structure, blah, blah, blah. Deliverables. I'm going to leave all that in there. Okay. Required skills. Okay. I don't need the required skills is what they're asking of me, not of the website. Okay. So I'm going to delete that. To apply. Okay. Okay. Again, it's given me like things that they want to see when they from me when I reply. It has nothing to do with actually building the website. So I'm going to delete that. Bonus points. Okay, I'm going to leave that in there because this applies kind of what it is that they do as a business. So I want the AI to have that information to know that when they're building the site to relate it to this information here. Okay, so now I have everything. So I have everything I need to paste in there. I'm just going to submit it. AI, I don't need to, again, even if I didn't understand half this stuff, it doesn't matter. I know they need a new website, and they've literally laid out everything that they kind of want. So what AI is doing is reviewing all this, all the information I just pasted in there. The AI is looking at it all. It's analyzing. It's looking, see this, analyzing the site structure and assets. It's because they laid out what kind of site structure they want, and then put a bunch of, hey, here's recommendations of, here's some, not recommendations, here's some other sites that we like, that we would want to have our website to have that kind of flavor. It's literally was looking at all those sites that I posted. It's going out there and researching all that stuff. So again, I don't need to understand half this stuff because this AI is way smarter than I'll ever be at this stuff. And that's the beauty of this, is it's now easy for someone like me to come in who maybe isn't technically proficient or know a bunch about websites. I don't need to. If I can type like a human being and copy and paste, I'm golden. I'm now on the same level playing field as web design agencies that have been around for decades and have tons of coders on their team that are probably looking at all of this and like, oh yeah, we can do all this. Here's a sample of our stuff here and all that. Well, I'm doing something even better. I'm actually building the 90% solution right away. I say 90% solution. This is going to build the website, but I don't know if it's going to be very rare that I nail it right on the first go of what it is that they're looking for, right? But this is going to pretty much give them a 90% done solution, so that when they look at it, it goes back to what I said. They are looking at this and think, oh my God, this is kind of basically what we want. And it might not be exact, but yeah, I mean, we maybe make a change here. They're envisioning it. I put the cheeseburger in their hand, right? Because now they're looking at that cheeseburger. Oh, that cheeseburger looks really good. I'd maybe want some pickles on that and maybe a little extra mustard. But yeah, that's looking pretty good. That's looking basically like what I'm interested in eating, right? That's what we're doing here. And so this is going to go ahead and do all this stuff. It's going to be building all this stuff. What I can go ahead and do while it's doing that is I can go ahead and prepare my proposal, right? So I'm still in the offer them your services part. So I'm getting, again, it's results first. So I'm getting this result done. So I'm going to have a website done for them. Okay. Again, I don't care about it being, it's not going to be the perfect delivered final product. It's me putting it in their hands so that they can then say, yeah, I'm interested. And then they'll tell me what they want changed and how the final product should look. I'll end up copying and pasting that back into this and say, all right, hey, the client wants these changes. And it's just going to do it for me. Okay. So what I can do in the meantime to finish out the second piece of offer them your services is I can, again, use AI. In this case, I'm just going to use ChatGPT, understand that there's tons of other Claude, there's Grok, there's Gemini, there's all kinds of things out here. They all do the same kind of thing. So use the one that you prefer. They're all free to start, meaning you don't typically need a paid plan on any of them to just start using it. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get my proposal built, right? So I can then send the offer to them. So all I'm going to do is similar to what I did in the Lovable. I'm just going to go, hey, I need a Upwork proposal based on the following project. I'm going to add one more thing. I went ahead and built them a demo based on their project that I want to include a link to in the proposal. Oops. Proposal. I can spell. All right. Now, same thing. I'm just going to now paste in the project. Oh, let me go back, recopy it. For some reason it didn't save it. This time I can actually keep all of it in there. I want the entire project. Pasted in here so that when it builds my proposal, it takes into account everything that they're asking for, everything that they've requested, including, specific skill sets and stuff that they would expect from me. I want that all addressed in my proposal. And I can even say something. You're like, well, shoot, I don't have a, B2B technology sites. I don't have a portfolio of that. Okay. So I can address that in here, but also as a side note, I want you to understand that's the beauty of this process. They're expecting this because everyone else is going to say, yeah, I can do this for you. And they're going to say, okay, well, show me some examples of things that you've done that are just like this. I get to skip all that BS because I'm not going to say I could build this for you. I'm going to say, I've already built a demo for you. That replaces the need for this BS because they want to vet people based on, hey, could you do this? And then someone's going to say, oh yeah, here's my portfolio of similar sites. And they're going to have to look at that and say, okay, well, I kind of like this. And all right, well, this, I'm not a big fan. We're having to try to envision what their site, what their business is going to look like in these websites. I eliminate that. I throw that out the window. I rip all that up and say, yeah, they can show you all things they've done in the past. Here's me building essentially your site now. So when they see what I deliver, they're looking at it and they're like, oh, wow, this is essentially what I want. I don't need this. They're not going to say, have you built other sites? I'm showing them the site's in their face now. Their site is in their face. So now it's less about, okay, well, they could do this. We might, now they're saying, oh crap, yeah, this is kind of what we want. I mean, I probably want our logo maybe up there. And, this little section here, we have this different service we'd like to add in there. Now they're just making, again, they're suggesting how they would maybe want to eat the cheeseburger that's sitting in their hand versus envisioning what a cheeseburger might look like. Well, we'd want a cheeseburger that has, instead they're like, yep, that's exactly what we want, but we want just these few things. Now it's just a few things that they're looking to address because they already have it in their hand. Okay. Again, I don't need to, this can be addressed in the proposal, but the website is going to go ahead and solve this issue. Estimated timeline, it'll be in the proposal. But again, as you know, with AI, it can be super quick. I'm not going to say something like, oh, just a few minutes it's going to take, right? I'm going to say, yeah, that can be delivered by weekend. It could deliver based on your input into changes. Tech stack recommendation and rationale. Okay. That we'll let the proposal address that. And then again, bonus points, blah, blah, blah. The website delivery is going to take care and address all that. Okay. So let's just submit it. Okay. This is going to take even less time. While this is working, it's actually already going ahead and making it. Let's go back to the site really quick and look what it's built. It's already built. It's already built a website. Again, for water treatment systems, I don't even know what this is. It's put their name because they already bought the URL. So it's putting their name up there based on the URL. It went ahead and looked at those other sites and it's pulling information for that. It has look at all this compliance products. It has look at this. Look at this. Look at all this stuff. Look, we engineer right. And it has case studies they can put out there. Me delivering this to them puts me way above anyone else saying that they could do something like this. Okay. All I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to come up here, hit publish. Okay. It's going to put it on this URL initially. I can change that if I want. I can make it tritonuv.lovable.app, whatever I want. I'm going to hit continue. It will publish it, put it live on the internet. I can then grab this link and put it in my proposal, which we'll go back to in just a second. Or if I wanted to, see here, add a custom domain. If I don't want it on this lovable app.app domain, I can go buy a domain, right, that I could reuse for any of these clients or for any of these proposals and put that in here so it's my own custom domain and not lovable.app if I'm worried about that. Okay, so just understand I have that flexibility. But all I'm going to do is publish it, grab the link, and then I can come back to my proposal, and then here it is. Okay. Okay, now I can end up saying, look, week 1, look, it's total 2 to 3 weeks. It gave me a timeline. I was going to say, oh, by the end of the week, this thing's giving me more time, and it actually breaks out why. Okay. Look, I built it. Look, why I'm a strong fit. I've already took initiative and built your demo. That right there alone sets me apart from everyone else. And then now it's given, look forward to hearing your thoughts, blah, blah, blah. Look, it's given me also, it's even telling me how I could improve my proposal. I could do a short Loom walkthrough, just saying, hey, here's how the page breaks out. Obviously, all this is customizable, blah, blah, blah. Or I can say, shoot, what would I say in that Loom? You're like, I wouldn't even know what to say in the Loom. How about I just ask it? Look, if you want, I can write a Loom script that sells the demo hard. This is a big win move. Okay. I can also say, hey, I built this in Lovable, so I'm worried about the tech stack part. If you're like saying, well, here, like this. Like, I don't know what Webflow is, Jason. Cool. I don't know either. It's like, hey, alternative WordPress. Cool. You know what I can say? Is I can just say, hey, I actually built this website using lovable.dev. So how can we reword the tech stack part so it aligns and doesn't suggest something I'm unable to build for them? And it's going to tell me. Good catch. This is important. You don't want to position yourself as something you're not, right? So I'm being honest about this. And I can say, and now it's given me a different, what that gives me now is a different wording to put in that proposal, right? And it's giving me a cleaner version. And then I can also say, hey, I don't want to mention I'm using Lovable. And then it will fix that part. Okay. Then once I have my proposal, I can say, okay, hey, can you do a Loom script for me now so that I can do a Loom video? And then it will write out the Loom script for me. That's going to help me further sell this. Now, this is a lot of work for just one proposal, but it's cool. It's literally, I can do all this in minutes. How long have I been talking? Maybe 10 minutes tops from it building the website. And that's me explaining things. It's literally taking about 10 minutes for me to do this. And this project can be big. Now, my goal, sell for 500. But technically, if I'm confident enough, this is one of those projects I could easily get my $3,000 for. Okay. And so that's what I'm trying to say. Look, I want you to feel like you're probably saying to yourself, man, 500 for all. Yeah, you can actually get way more than that. Right? You can get the $5,000 to $10,000 that some of the people in the group are already selling these websites for. You could easily get that for something like this. But I also wanted to show you that something that sounded so technical and looked so complicated, it's broken down in minutes, and I can easily. And this is I'm just submitting this proposal, and then I don't care about this anymore. Okay. Once I submit my proposal, guess what I'm doing next? I'm on to the next one. This one, they're either going to reach out to me, start a conversation, or they're not. Either way, they're in the past. I don't care. I'm not like, okay, well, that's it. I'm done for the day. And I can't wait to see. I hope maybe they'll respond now. Hopefully they'll respond now. What time is it now? Okay, maybe I'll go for a walk and see if they respond. Nope, I'm done. I don't give a crap about that anymore. It's in the past. It was just, I'm a robot. I'm a robot. And all I'm doing is submitting proposals until I don't have any more time for today. Once I'm done the time, literally all I have to do the rest of the day is live my life, do whatever the hell it is I'm doing. And again, I can do other things in the business, but we're just talking about the easiest way to do this and get to my first 500 quick. I can just focus on sites like this. I can go to another site. Maybe that's what I'll do next, right? But in the end, I don't care about this one specifically. It's just one of many that I'm bidding on every single day. And I do this over and over and over again. Now I'm going to the next one, okay? Dating project. Okay, I'm just going to look. Do they want a website for this? I'm going to read it. If they don't, I move on. If they're looking for an app or some crap, if I'm not ready for that, I can move on. I don't care about that. Graphic design, don't care. Here we go. Website development for hotels and businesses. Okay. Also, another note, you're going to see estimated budget, hourly. You're going to be like, well, I don't know I'm always bidding whatever their budget is. That's it. That's the only, there's no special, that's the ninja tip. I don't need to try to figure out pricing when I'm doing my proposals. The pricing will actually happen when they respond and start talking to me. The way this works is I submit a proposal. If they are remotely interested in working with someone, they always reach out to them first. They don't just blindly award it based on because they're going to get tons of proposals, right? They're not just going to blindly award it to someone. If they're interested, they're going to narrow it down to one or two or whatever, and then they're going to reach out to them, say, hey, I was interested in this. And they're going to have a conversation about what you put in the proposal. For us, it's going to be like, holy cow, this looks awesome. And it may evolve into that. In the end, in my conversation where I say, yeah, absolutely, I can do that. They're going to tell me, hey, okay, well, can you do it? Yep, absolutely, I can do all that. The final price on this would be $500. That's where you tell them the price. Because when these businesses are bidding like estimated budget, $30, they don't know. Half these people, more than half of these businesses, when they post their jobs, they have no idea how much it's going to cost. But they're forced to put a budget. They're forced to put an estimate budget or whatever they think. And also, they have to put up money to put this post in. So whatever they say the budget is, they have to put that money or part of that money in there. So some of them, because they have no idea how much it costs, they're going to put something like low, like $30. And then once the conversation happens and they actually find out how much it is, that's when they change the project price and then have to pay that money. So it's important that you understand the psychology of when people post as well, because there's some people that come here and like, oh, $30, I'm not going to do that. This could be a $3,000 project. You don't know it because you're basing it on what they had to put as a budget. So it's important to understand the flip side. What is their psychology when they're posting? They're like, okay, I need help. This site seems to be a place that people use for that. I have no idea how much it's going to cost. No idea what this is. So let me just put this information in here to get proposals, and then I'll talk to people I'm interested in. That's the psychology of the people using the site. Okay. From the other side, posting the projects. Okay. So I want you to understand, don't get wrapped up in what you see here on these budgets and what they say they're going to put and all that. Everything comes down to the conversation that you have. And the beautiful thing about that is my conversation can be completely helped through, again, using AI, using ChatGPT to help me in the conversation. So if they say something, I can literally take their whole reply, slap it in back into the chat here and say, hey, they just got back to me. Here's what they said. Okay, great. Blah, 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 blah. Here's what you need to say back to them. And I can literally have this walk me through any of this conversation. Remember, I'm going to be doing a bunch of bids, and then throughout the day or the next day or two, I potentially am going to hear back from some of these specific people. Okay. Sometimes people get back quick. Sometimes it takes a day or two. Sometimes I won't hear anything back. That's why I can't obsess over any of these. I'm a robot banging these out. And ultimately, this is the process. It is literally this simple process over and over and over again. I will sell the website. My goal is a minimum $500. And then ultimately, I will pivot to marketing services. And that may happen right away, may happen down the road. My pivot is as simple as, all right, cool. Well, hey, website's delivered. Once I deliver it, you got everything now. Curious, quick question. What are you guys doing for marketing? Are you guys doing anything? What are you doing to get eyeballs on this website? That's something we offer as well. We do marketing services, advertising services, digital marketing. If that's something you're interested in discussing, we can have a conversation about what that might look like and how I might be able to help. If you guys have been looking to get something like that in place, right? It's an easy pivot, and they're either going to say, yo, wow, yeah, we're not doing anything, or here's what we're doing, but yeah, we'd love to have that discussion. Cool. We have the discussion. Or they say, not right now, not really interested right now. But maybe down the road. Cool. Guess what I'm going to do with them? I'll revisit them down the road. All right, cool. And it's not some random cold call, right? It's me 30 days later checking in and saying, hey, just want to follow up, see how you guys are, how's the site doing, right? How you guys liking the site? Also, when the revisit, about marketing services, that's something, how are we looking on that? How's that situation looking? Whatever the hell, doesn't matter. I have them now on my network that I can follow up for potential services down the road. So I'll either sell some services now, whether that's one or lots of them, or down the road, potentially I have that option. Either way, sold a website, I have a client. I can also then start leveraging my clients for referrals to other clients. Business owners know other business owners, and potentially, especially with something like a website, like when they take a website and they're like, yeah, I'm happy with this, and they take it, like they're a satisfied customer. That's all you need to know. They got possession of the website. Okay. So in the end, they're now a referral source for you for potential other people, whether that's a website or even marketing services down the road, right? So it opens up this whole new snowball that can happen then with my income, because my prospecting has now expanded from not only going to warm prospecting, which is people are already asking for help. It's going to hot prospecting because network referrals from within your network are the hottest type of leads, hottest type of prospects. So higher conversion rates. And again, I close one of them. Now I'm open to their network. Now I'm open up to referrals in their network as well, and keep snowballing. And I just repeat this process over and over and over and over again until, again, my financial goals, my financial freedom has enabled my life freedom. All right. Make sense?